Namaste, everyone.
Same.
As usual, we are ready to begin with 3 ohms. So let's take a deep breath in. Our usual disclaimer: when you participate over here, you do so with the understanding that you are responsible for your own well-being. Life in Yoga and I do not take any responsibility towards it. And therefore, please take caution to make sure that whatever you do with ease, without any strain. And the breath is the best indicator of the strain. As long as the breath is smooth and slow, there can be no strain. If you have any jerky motion, the breath will also be jerky. So please avoid anything that can be less than completely smooth and easy. And as yoga states, all practices should be done with such ease that you can be in meditative awareness in it. So with that, let's begin our chakra vibrations. Bring your awareness to the perineum and pressing on the little finger with the thumb, we begin with Lam. Take a deep breath in. Lam. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Lam. Lam. Bring the awareness an inch or so above the perineum, behind the place where we urinate. Pressing on the middle ring finger, we do VAM. Take a deep breath in. VAM. 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 Release the fingers and continue. VAM. 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 Bring the awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body, and there we do RAM, pressing on the middle finger with the thumb. RAM. 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 Release the fingers and continue. RAM. 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 Bring Bring the awareness to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts, and here we do yum, pressing on the index finger with the thumb. Yum. Release the finger and continue. Yum. Yum. Bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. Release the hand, continue. Hum. Bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and there we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Chum. 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 Release the hand and continue. Chum. Chum. Top of the middle of the head, we do Om, again thumbs up, loose fist. Release your hand, continue. Last time. Now, bring the, we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama. So those of you who know it, please proceed. And those of you who need guidance, we can go through the process. And keep the thumbs up and the palms open. And bring the awareness to the bottommost part of the mouth. Make a big smile, and that will give a slight stretch in the bottommost part of the mouth. Keeping the focus on the stretch, inhale and exhale in slow, deep breaths. Please continue. We are doing the Ujjayi Pranayama, the happy face breathing. Please continue. Now we can go on to shoulder rotations. As you inhale in the Ujjayi, lift up the shoulders. And exhale, rotate it back and slowly bring it down. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now as we continue with the Ujjayi, we stretch up. Inhale, look up and stretch up, feel the pelvis lift up. And as you exhale, bring the chin down and slowly bring the hands down together. Continue. Last inhalation. Last exhalation. Now we can go on to the neck exercises. As you exhale, gently tilt your head towards one shoulder. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tilt the other, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back up. Now we will do all the sides and we'll be doing the sound ah in the other sides, and chin down we will do ma. Now as we do this today, I'm going to do a slight variation. Yesterday I had feedback from you where most of you felt that if we do 3 times in the same position, there is a bigger impact. But there is another smaller bunch of you who felt multiple rounds have bigger impact. So what we will do is we will do 2 rounds today. In the first round, we will do 3 repetitions of everything. And then second round, we will do a single repetition. So that way we have multiple rounds and also we have multiple repetitions. So take a deep breath in to the right side and we do ah. Ah. Second time. Ah. Third time. Now we turn to the left. Now head to the back. Second time. Third time. Chin to the chest. Second time. Third time. Now again to the right side, one time ah. Ah. To the left. Ah. Head to the back. Ah. Chin to the chest. Straighten the head and keep the awareness above the head. And you can do ah or om, whatever is preferable for you, one time. Now we go on to the circular motion of the neck. Inhale half a circle and exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last exhalation. Now let's go in the reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can go on to the hand exercises. Stretch out your hand in the front. Inhale, lift up the palms of your hands and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in and make a downward facing fist. Continue. Last exhalation. Now we go around the wrist. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Elbows in line with the shoulders, fist below the chin. And as you inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms. And exhale, make the fist and come in again. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Interlock the fingers and bring it behind the head. Stretch out the elbows and stretch out the shoulders. As you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Get hold of the elbows behind the head. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale, come back. Exhale, pull on the other elbow. Inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation. Now bring the hands behind the back. Get hold of the elbows. Take a deep breath in. Expand the chest. Pull back the shoulders. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Get the hands to your hips behind your back. And as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other hand and make a backward arch. And exhale, come forward. And continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we cross one leg over the other. Get hold of the knee. And as you exhale, pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder and turn the head the other way. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Now let's cross over the other side. Exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Now we can stand up. And as we inhale, we will bend at the knees and exhale, come up. Keep the body vertical. And as you don't need to bend too much in the knees. As you inhale and bend, observe the stretch in the ankles. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we go around the hips. Inhale and exhale and go around the hips. Last inhalation, last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last exhalation. Now we will do the pelvic bend. Those of you who don't have good balance, you can do this seated. Others, keep the feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other. Get hold of your elbow behind the back. Take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders, lift up the chin, and tilt backwards. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, push out the butt and lean forward. You're only bending from the hips. The chin is up, the shoulder is pulled back, the back is straight. Feel the stretch from the hips all the way down to the feet. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. Inhale and slowly come back up. Take your seat. We will do the alternate nostril breathing. And after 6 breaths, we will go on to the Bhastrika. Now let's get ready for the Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Take a deep breath through the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then we do one Brahma. Now, bring the awareness to the chest area and mentally vibrate Haim, 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 Haim. Now you can make it Haim Nam, Haim Nam, Haim Nam. Now bring the awareness behind the lowermost part of the sternum and feel a rising vibration going through the body and out of the top of the head. And that vibration feels like Haim Em Home. Haim Em Home. Haim Em Home. Feel the flow upward and out of the head. Now we will go on to the final mantra, but we will do it without the early instructions. So since all of you are familiar with it, we will begin from the ankle feet area with Aim and then going up Aim Shim Jim Jaim Haim Aim Om. So simply focus from the flow from the feet till the back of the head. So here we go. Aim Shim Jim Jaim Haim Aim Om. 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 Aim Shim Jim Jaim Haim, Aim, Om. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jaim, 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 Haim, Aim, Om. Now we go on to our further rounds of Bhastrika. Let's begin with exhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Deep breath through the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left, and then do one Brahmari. Now let's get ready for the next round of Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Deep breath through the right nostril, hold the breath, and exhale through the left. Let's get ready for the last Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Deep breath to the right nostril, hold the breath and exhale to the left. Now we can get ready for meditation. Mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. As you let go of everything, feel your shoulders become lighter, your head become lighter, perhaps the whole body feeling lighter. If you have a personal way to begin meditation, you can. And if you find you can, by default, you prefer to use the mantra we use, bring your awareness behind the lowermost part of the sternum, and from there visualize a rising vibration going through the body and out of the top of the head. And that flow feels like 3 syllables. Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om. And as you do that, we will have Om playing in the background.
Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. And with that as the thought, become aware of all the sensations from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And whenever you're ready to open your eyes, raise the palm of your hands and look straight into the palm of your hand. Now, today being Sunday, we have another half hour of discussions. The first thing I want to share with you is in the Life in Yoga website, you will see the announcement of the next seminar that is on next Sunday that is coming up. So you can look it up. It is on the importance of sleep quality, and it begins at 10 o'clock next week, Sunday, and it goes still for 2 hours. The standard pattern is the first half hour, we have a presentation about the nature of sleep and all of that. And thereafter, it is all the questions that people may have. Hopefully, those of you who are already registered as part of CYI, you would have all gotten an email from Avni was going to send it out. So you should already have the link. Those of you who registered from last time to become CYI members. And those of you who have not yet registered, you can definitely go and register yourself, and then you can participate over there. So, and then of course, next month after, we have the mental health through lifespan and each of the other things that will come second Sunday of every month. So with that, I will let go over there. And now what I want everyone to do is, I would like all of you to do the Ujjayi Pranayama with awareness and watch where it is working for you. While you're focused on the throat and you're inhaling and exhaling, just observe where it is working for you within you. See the subtle feeling you get within inside you. So please continue. We'll do it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I will seek feedback from all of you.
You've been doing the Ujjayi Pranayama for a minute and a half. So I'm going to ask questions and you can do a show of hands. And those of you who are not on video, you have the ability to show hands by raise your hand. There is one option, so you can do that. So how many of you felt only in the throat? You didn't feel anywhere else? Raise your hand. Okay, so people felt more than the throat. Okay, except for one person. That's fine. Is there anybody who felt like there is a movement in the middle of the body going up and down as you inhale and exhale? Raise your hand. Okay, there are many more people who felt that. Excellent. Now, let me ask the question. Did anybody feel that the movement up and down was more than the middle of the body? In other parts beyond the middle of the body, like in the front or back or anything? Raise your hands if anyone felt it. Okay, some of you felt it. Okay, so
I didn't feel anything. So what?
That's okay.
Something wrong.
That's okay. Okay. Now, did anybody feel the movement was not only in the middle of the body but also towards the front of the body going up and down? Okay, Shivaji Daskar. Okay, and the Sundaraji. That's fine. Now, did anybody feel the movement was along the not only middle of the body but also the spine? Nobody. That's good. Okay. So Raj Kishorji, go ahead. You didn't feel anything beyond the throat, right?
Maybe I'm not observing it properly, or maybe I'm not doing it right, but I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, that's fine. You see, what happens is the Ujjayi Pranayama, literally the meaning of it is Ujjayi. Ujjayi means, Ut means something that is on the top, hierarchically above. Jai means one that wins, right? Victorious. So it's often referred to as the higher victorious pranayama. So the Ujjayi Pranayama is considered the one that can take you into a higher level of awareness. Now, obviously, from a physiological standpoint, you would say that because you're stimulating this area, the vagus nerve is flowing through, so people often refer to it as vagal stimulation. It is much more than that. In fact, what happens is, since it's focused in this area, in that area there is also another cranial nerve called the glossopharyngeal nerve. Now what happens is, the vagus nerve, interestingly, it is often said it is mostly afferent in nature. In other words, it is more often communicating into the brain rather than communicating out of the brain. So they say it is 80-90% afferent. That means its main function is taking information to the brain. Interestingly, in this part, the vagus nerve is not afferent. It is in fact efferent. Here in this part, it communicates from the brain, whereas the afferent role is with the glossopharyngeal nerve. So the thing is, basically, the reason this is important from a physiological perspective is because this pranayama has been found to be very effective in reducing snoring and for helping with sleep apnea. So from a physiological perspective, you would explain it as the glossopharyngeal nerve works as the afferent element, and the vagus nerve works as the efferent element to provide the right level of flow of blood and all of that, to make this the muscles in this area, the pharyngeal muscles, more receptive, so that you have enough energy to prevent the closing of this area that results in snoring or the sleep apnea. Any case, now, whereas on the other hand, the higher experience, the spiritual experience of this Ujjayi Pranayama is related to what they say is, it directs the flow along the Sushumna Nadi, or the central nadi in the body. And what it does is it integrates your inner dimension with your external duty. So it is called fulfilling your swadharma. So when you keep that awareness within and do the Ujjayi Pranayama, you burn off your karmas. And so by burning off your karmas, you're able to attain a higher level of purity and eventually realization. So that is how that is explained. So for people who can feel it along the middle of the body, there you have moved it away from the physiological to the higher inner awareness where you feel that. Now what happens is, as you continue with this, you will begin to feel as the purification takes place and it becomes higher. You will find that along the front of the body, there is awareness going on, even though there is awareness along the middle of the body. So the front and the middle work together. And that's where the Atmanadi gets activated. And the Atmanadi getting activated results in our meditative connectivity that comes from it. So anyway, so I just wanted to see how different people felt. Each person is in their own yogic progression path. So there is nothing bad or good. We don't compete with others. But I just wanted to get feedback from people how they felt. Now, let's, Sundaraji, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you wear a mask, in these days, especially N95 mask.
1 second, I'll turn off the phone. So yeah, when we turn on, you go ahead, Sundaraji.
Wear a mask, especially the N95, which kind of blocks everything. It's pretty tight. And you try to do breathing, when you're traveling and things like that. It does not give the same feeling. In fact, maybe because of the carbon dioxide inside the mask, it creates headache and maybe some fatigue. Especially I notice it when you're in the airport or in the airplane. Does that explain what do you do in such a case?
Sorry, I got disturbed over here with the phone and all of this. So please repeat, when you have the N95 mask, what happens to you?
When it is tight all over, you try to do Ujjayi Pranayama, especially if you're traveling or you seem to get a little headache and fatigue, maybe because you're retaining a lot of carbon dioxide inside the mask.
Actually, the interesting part is we are still trying to understand some things. Like, for example, there are two of us over here. One is me and another is our colleague from West Africa, another yogi, and both of us share something in common. You see, for me, from the age of 13, for the last 50 years or more, I've had this, I've been asthmatic. But for the last 15, 20 years, I'm not dependent on any medication. And so what happens is at the same time, I do not have fatigue or lack of vitality and energy. Right? So why is that possible? It is, what happens is, and when I wear mask or whatever, and when I do Ujjayi, I don't have any problem with energy absorption. I can wear a mask for 24 hours and it still doesn't bother me. Okay? Now, that's not the case for everyone. My mother, if she wears a mask for 15 minutes or half an hour, she's ready to pull it out. Okay? Now, this is common for a lot of people. So what is happening is, we say that the source of our energy, and by the way, our friend in West Africa, some of you may know, West Africa is a place where congenitally people have sickle cell anemia. Okay? And so did our friend over there. And what happened is, from a young age, he got involved with yoga. and he learned yoga from Swami Ved Bharati of the Himalayan tradition. And he completely got over his sickle cell anemia in the sense he doesn't feel any fatigue or anything normally.
Mhm.
And what happens is in West Africa, because people cannot get enough oxygen retained in their blood because of the sickle cell of the red blood cells, people typically sleep for much longer hours than other people.
Mhm.
People sleep for 13 hours a day. It's very common. Okay? So now what happens is in his case, he can sleep for 4 or 5 hours and he's like fresh and everything is fine. And what happens is we have learned that because of the meditative process and the inner awareness, we seem to be able to absorb energy in other ways.
Mm.
And so the answer is, I think, to some extent in the Ujjayi Pranayama, like some of you have experienced earlier. If you stretch out your hands like this and close your eyes and do Ujjayi Pranayama, you will feel like something happening in the palm of your hands.
Mm. Mm.
Like as if you're sucking in air through the palm, or this thing, you're not really sucking in air. But whatever it is, you see, the hypothesis we have is the body runs because of the electromagnetic field. That is what enables communication. In fact, what happens is this, earlier today we had a discussion with our good professor from the professor of Maryland. Often when you think in terms of electricity flowing through, you think in terms of each molecule, stimulating the electron in the next molecule, and that's how it flows. In fact, that's a very simplistic way of thinking of it flowing. In fact, if you think in terms of any molecule, the electrons are really flying around the atoms over there, right? So what is happening is if any electrons that is flowing creates a field. It is the field that is stimulating the next electron that flows. So what happens is, since it's a field that is flowing, there is within ourselves, the oxygen only helps because the heat is produced with cellular respiration. It helps to maintain the field, whereby the communication is possible in the body. And so we think maintenance of the field is more important than actually the breathing that we do that produces the cellular respiration.
Okay.
So the cellular respiration maintains the field. But maybe there is a different way to maintain the field when you're able to go through Ujjayi Pranayama and the higher meditation ability. So that may be the answer. So yes. So when, for normal people, yes, we are so much dependent on the external breathing. But the real answer for maintaining our vitality and strength may be maintaining the field.
More so flying, maybe it's the altitude that has something to do.
Possible. Oh, you feel it only during flying?
Yeah.
But when you're at a normal level, you don't feel it. Actually, it's interesting. The only thing we know about higher altitude is that the air is much less denser and has less oxygen over there, right?
Yeah. But the planes are pressurized, so you're not supposed to feel the lack of oxygen.
Exactly.
So it's something just notice, and it doesn't happen anywhere else. So I just wanted maybe it's the way you're doing it in the flight, it's possible.
No, you are doing Ujjayi Pranayama within that?
Yeah.
Only then you feel
deep
it.
breathing, even deep breathing, just slow, deep breathing.
This is very interesting because what happens is, I cannot explain this. Let me think about it. Perhaps next Sunday we'll try to figure out what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody else wanted to say something. Please go ahead. I think Mr. Kemsara wanted to say something.
Ujjayi, I feel so light on my head.
Uh-huh.
I feel very good, and it goes to my head, and I feel very light and good,
Yes, excellent. Excellent. In fact, that is the afferent nerve element, the better communication into the brain. From a physiological perspective, that's how it will be explained.
Dr. Rajan, I have
Yes.
been doing Ujjayi before going to sleep for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
And I go to sleep so peacefully, and usually I used to take long time to go, to sleep. But since I've been doing this Ujjayi, I just fall asleep.
Yeah, actually what it is Ujjayi is known to stimulate better sleep. From a sleep study perspective, which will probably be discussed in the seminar, next Sunday, it is often said that because the mind is active, that they call it as arousal. Because the mind is active, that is the reason you're unable to fall asleep. Now, we have a different way of looking at it from the yogic perspective. From the yogic perspective, you have to let go. And what happens is, in the Ujjayi Pranayama, initially it is the Sushumna Nadi. And once the Sushumna Nadi clears, it is the Atma Nadi that connects. So the concept of the Atma Nadi connecting, where does it connect? You see, we see the physical world, the billions of galaxies. But beyond that, in a different dimension, is the concept of the cosmic flow, God, wherever that is beyond. And in deep sleep, we connect beyond the physical element of all these galaxies. And in the Vedic system, it is mentioned, there is a concept called Dahara Akasha. Anybody heard the term Dahara Akasha? Nobody. Okay. So the concept of Dahara Akasha means the space in the smallest particle that you can think of, the space in between. That is the space through which you pierce into the higher reality. Okay? So what happens is, in deep sleep, we go into a state where that is where we get our daily dose of antivirus updates. Essentially, when you take a vaccine, you're supposed to take a lot of rest, because if you have good sleep, that is how the vaccine builds the antibodies faster. So good sleep, deep sleep, is considered something that improves the immune system. But where from the new immune system's information comes is not really known by medical science, but it is correlated with deep sleep. And from a yogic perspective, what we say is, we pierce into the other domain that is beyond the what we think of the billions of galaxies within which we are one little dot over here. It is, we pierce into the realm beyond. And in that deep sleep, when everything is quiet, that is from where we imbibe our deeper levels of the improvement in our immune system, and whatever is the inner nature of our swadharma, all of that we imbibe from there. So the concept is, in Ujjayi Pranayama, when we keep on doing it, beyond the Sushumna Nadi, we evoke the Atma Nadi through which that meditative connectivity goes into that deeper sleep. So maybe that is the reason I'm looking at Rani Kishorji to explain why it is you do the Ujjayi Pranayama and fall asleep well. I'm going to tell you a story about how the Ujjayi Pranayama and the meditative gives deeper insight to some people. So maybe that would be instructive. But before I go to the story, which will take a few more minutes, any other questions or thoughts people have before I continue? Go ahead. Yes, Ravinderji, go ahead.
Rajanji, for me, nighttime sleep, I feel a lot of acidity problem. So, but since I started to do Ujjayi Pranayama before sleeping, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, depending on how long. Because I get into sort of meditative state with doing the Ujjayi Pranayama after a while, and then the time goes, and but I'm sleepy afterwards, and I sleep, and there's no acidity problem after that.
No acidity
Otherwise, I
problem.
used to have a lot of acidity problem, unable to sleep, sitting for a while, drinking water.
Excellent, excellent. I'm so happy to hear this. You see, I'm going to explain what you're saying, but I will also give you 3 stories now instead of one. Okay?
Thank you.
So, the thing is, what happens is, I was going to explain the meditative aspect. Now I'm going to go into the more physical aspect or physiological aspect. We were working with one lady in Texas, and this lady was a diabetic, and she came to us. So when we read in our Nadi machine, what we actually saw was the peripheral nervous system was the weakest system in our body. And when she was in front of me, I saw that the person could not, it was like the person could not take instruction. The person who has probably anxiety or whatever, the person, I felt like I was not getting across to that person. So when I felt I was not getting across to that person, I felt nothing is going to help, but nevertheless I told the person, please do this pranayama. And so that person actually was very dedicated, and the person ended up doing the pranayama on a daily basis for for about a month or so. And after a month, when we went back and we checked with her, what had happened for her was her diabetic condition was such where she was very conscious. She would take her sugar reading 2 hours after dinner. She would have dinner at 6 o'clock, and at 8, 9, she will go and take her blood, the sugar. It will be within the normal range of like 135 to 165. Then she wakes up in the morning, and fasting sugar she takes, it will look like 220. Okay? So this had been a problem she had been having. And after she started doing this Ujjayi Pranayama, her morning blood sugar will invariably look like 110, 100 kind of thing. Okay? So why was this happening? I was very puzzled. And so I asked an endocrinologist. So the endocrinologist explained to me, and this is a highly experienced endocrinologist, he explained to me that for a lot of people when they are asleep, the store of sugar in the liver gets released. And that is why in the morning they have this problem. So what is the mechanism by which this happens? You see, our entire body is functioning because the nervous system is communicating to the brain, and the brain is through the nervous system communicating back to all the parts of the body, and it releases blood flow and instructions and hormones and everything that is going over there. Now what is happening is, to release the sugar from the liver, there is something called within the pancreas and the alpha cells as opposed to the beta cells, there is a hormone called glucagon that is produced. That glucagon is what gives instruction to release sugar. So somehow the glucagon is giving instructions to the liver to reconvert the glycogen in there into glucose and send it into the blood. So there is somewhere in the nervous system the communication is not happening right. So once you started doing the Ujjayi Pranayama, the body is communicating better through the nervous system. And what Ravindraji was telling us is an example of exactly the same way by which the hyperacidity is being controlled. Sundaraji, does that make sense from a physician's point of view? You're muted.
It makes absolutely sense.
And so I'm so delighted that we had another case over here where we can see this. Now
I
I'm
can feel
going
that
to-
it's happening personally. My hyperacidity that I've had is gone, completely gone. So I can empathize with the person who just said that.
Thank you so much. So now let's go back now. And by the way, Sundaraji, I would like you to, since you're hearing about this, in the CME course that is upcoming,
Yeah.
you need to speak about this. You as a physician, if you speak, it carries more weight. And I'll
Okay.
supply all these cases for you.
Okay, I shall
Okay,
do
thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now the next element I want to share with you is the meditative aspect of Ujjayi. And with that, we'll close over here. And this again happened in Houston. And some of you may be familiar that when I was coming to Houston every month or so, within the company called Starpipe Products, I used to go there for 2-3 days every time I came. And as part of the employee benefit program, whoever wanted to consult, I would consult with them. So one time, one of their young employee who was 28 years old, and this back in 2018, so he's obviously older now. So he came to me for consulting, and because it was free, any employee could come in. And he said, so we asked him, why are you here? So he said, I would like to lose some weight. That is what he said, patting his belly over there. We looked at him, we didn't see him as overweight. And Dr. Anjana Dhingra is sitting next to me. We are saying, well, this is what the person is saying. We didn't think he had this thing. So we took the reading, and again we saw the peripheral nervous system was not optimal. So we asked him to do Ujjayi Pranayama, and then we took the reading. It had come back to optimal. So we told him, please do this every day in the morning, first thing when you wake up, and before you go to sleep at night. And 15 minutes each time. So he continued with this practice. During my next visit, he came back over there. He was, as they say, he had a big smile on his face. He was very, very happy. He said, I have very good news. So we asked him what happened. He said he had lost 2 pounds. Okay. When he told us that he had lost 2 pounds, Anjanaji and me, we are sitting over here. We tried not to, look kind of, have any kind of laughing or anything like that. We kept our laughter within and we listened to him. So we almost felt like laughing because 2 pounds is nothing. It is like, if you drink a little less water, you will have 2 pounds less in your body. So the thing is basically, but then the next thing he told us wiped the smile that was there within us. He told us he had lost 1.5 inches in his belly, in his waist. And that is very profoundly significant. But then he went on. What he said was that every time in the morning when he did his Ujjayi practice, he would almost get into a meditative state. And he could see how he was leading his life and how he was functioning at work. And normal people, when they are doing anything, you're given an assignment to analyze. He was doing like engineering kind of work and assessment and things like that. When people get feedback from others, you think you're doing a great job. And when you get feedback from others, it is like, people use the word feedback, but another way is a critical analysis of what you have done. Then many people are not good at taking criticism from others. Hey, I did a perfect job. Somebody telling me that there is a hole over there that they are picking on, right? So what happens is people generally don't take it well. And because they don't take it well, they are not as receptive. And so when they go back to do rework, they have not fully understood everything. So the rework has to happen 2-3 times before it gets done right. So he realized in his meditation, looking at himself, that, it is my reaction that is preventing me from being a better person. So from that, so what he found was, through this process, he became much more receptive. He understood criticisms better, and he was not like defensive at all. And what happens is the rework that he had to do became much less. He had clarity in thinking, his job level improved, his interaction with his colleagues improved, they all found him to be a better worker. Think of how the meditative aspect of the Ujjayi brings greater self-awareness. So I wanted to share these stories with you about the Ujjayi and how you have been all doing Ujjayi for a long time. Most of you, some of you didn't feel very much beyond what you felt in the throat, but most of you felt the middle of the body, the Sushumna, which is called, unfolding of your Swadharma. And some of you were able to feel beyond that. That is where the Atmanadi comes in, where the higher connectivity, meditative connectivity coming in. So with that, I will close over here. If there is any quick question, I'm open to it. Otherwise, we have passed the time by 5 minutes. Okay, namaste everyone. See you all.